identify with ourselves.
Right.
And that,
Very true.
there's still that one little imperfection that we want to do better, or we want to make better, or we want to make look better. And I think that this study really feeds into that notion that, no, of course, if we have the opportunity to do something and change these things, most people are going to have it. And I think that with most people having those external validation sources, being, in this social media construct that we have, and these social relationships, whether that are not in person, it's from just the spaces we've developed online. They're not healthy. And
Yeah,
so when you continuously put this effort and energy into it, it creates this just not good feelings, and it hurts people.
it does. But what's interesting is I feel like it's because when people do have the ability to retouch their selfie, they're not as vulnerable. Like they're getting closer to that ideal state for themselves. And I feel like everybody has the feeling that their ideal body image, how they see themselves in this ideal light, this perfectionistic light, is closer to the image that they want to be, whether that's from a validation in the media, with TV shows and movies that they see, with celebrities, or whether that's friends that they know, people that they know in social media. I think those are all things that have to be considered.
One of the things that's important to realize, though, too, is that those posts are still extensions of themselves.
Yes.
When you're posting these things online, you're still posting yourself. So when someone's like, "Oh, that's a hot as fuck photo," that's like, "Oh, that's me." Or when someone says a
Yep.
very nasty comment on it, "Oh, that's me." You
Mm-hmm.
know, So it's like those are the external sources that we're coming to in those environments that can be either constructive or destructive, right? So it's not just because when you have these relationships, when it is especially imagery, when you're the subject of it, you're going to put a personal notion on that, personal weight to whatever people say about those things, right? And
Absolutely.
and unfortunately, again, like you said, we promote a society that has that disinclusivity where, unfortunately, a large power, half the population thinks they have to justify themselves by looking attractive online, or have these negative feedback loops associated with it that just can hurt, like you said, ultimately hurt a lot of people. And I think that it's one of the things, looking at these things, right? It's why it's so important to have those in-person relationships be so holistic, and making sure we're having those positive reinforcements in those environments, and why individual healing journeys are so
Yes.
necessary, unfortunately necessary. And
Yes.
because there is no manual to deal with that.
Right. Absolutely. And you know what, Nathaniel, I think that brings us to a good point as we start to wrap up this episode. I did want to share one more article here, one more study that really dives into the body positivity aspect of it. This is titled "A Moderated Mediation Model for Body Positive Online Content and Body Image Among Adolescents." So, this was actually a very comprehensive study. It involved over 1,500 Czech adolescents aged 13 to 18, and it was really studying the impact of viewing body positive online content and body satisfaction through body appreciation. So, body positive online content obviously has become way more pervasive in recent years as social media access has grown. There's been a pushback on these societal norms we've talked about, and people are just fed up of being told what to look like. Like, we want to appreciate and value each other's bodies equal to our own. And I think that there is a desire and an appetite to display imperfect bodies, quote unquote, and challenging these notions that you have to look a certain way, and instead focusing on what matters, like one's own definition of beauty and how they're doing in their own lives, and just